Don't blink, it's your boy Ink with another video. Welcome to another show. Pretty busy morning. It is currently 6:02 in the morning. We're watching the sunrise as always. We're having three playthrough of the tower with the phone that we're filming from, and I just made my very first in month with Inky, which was June 2024. I said July, but it doesn't make a lot of sense because July did start. And I was talking about a subject in the video, and it was a subject that I think is worth making its own separate video. So, small prologue, small getting you into the mindset that we need to understand this video. I went to my father's house yesterday. In my father's house, although he doesn't know what I'm doing, he doesn't know. Look at the design of this shit. This is nice. ADHD, right? Doesn't know what we're doing. He doesn't know how much we're working, right? And doesn't know how social we are, even though it's through internet. But that's another thing. Was like, dude, you should learn guitar. And I was like, yeah, but I want to film. If I play guitar, right, I'm not able to film it. And that's a kind of like a mindset of I'm having this passion for filming, and everything I'm doing has to be with film. Is that a healthy mindset? I don't think any mindset is healthy, and I think what something is, if something is healthy for someone, it can be unhealthy for somebody else, and vice versa, right? So I do believe in that wholeheartedly. With the fact that my father was like, "Hey, you need to do something. Videos aren't gonna make it. You need to be more social," and it made me think because I do feel like I'm social. But then again, there's this really, really, really wonderful thing that happened last week, the week before, and yesterday. So the first time was 24th of June. Doesn't know that I'm a shy guy. When I'm talking as Inventana through a screen, when I'm talking in comments and things like that, right? Even in live, I'm not shy. But when it comes to people, it feels more real. When it comes to being on TikTok, even TikTok live, I'm seeing myself interact with you guys. So it's very different. And in real life, I'm shy. But 24th, I was like, dude, let's make content, right? I wasn't even planning to go. But I said, you know what, fuck it, let's go. So we went to a party. We didn't interact with people, but we're still present there, which was something kind of important because I think it's one of the first time doing this that I'm actively being with people, which is cool. It's something that is that's forcing me to be out of my comfort zone, right? And again, it's motivated by creating content. Then the 1st of July, we did the same thing. And I know what you're saying. Like, dude, if you do something twice, it's not as challenging as the first time. No, it isn't. But it's different. The first time, for example, right, you're doing something, you have a bad experience. You're gonna do it the second time. You need to do it. The first time you did it was a bad experience. So what you're gonna technically do? So yeah, but the first time I had a bad experience, and I want to do it again. Right? That's gonna be your first reflex. Very valid reflex, by the way. Um, and it's also a case of we did it because we wanted to do it, right? If I did it for Saint Jean, we did it for Canada Day. It's weird how life works. I was talking about this with Kathy. She was like, "Oh, what's the difference between Quebec and Canada?" And it reminded me of those days, you know. Even yesterday, we went to my father's house, and my father was like, "Hey, the lighthouse is changing. They're renovating. That lighthouse is part of history of Lachine, the city I was born in, the city I love." So a big part of me wanted to make sure that we kind of got this, how should we call it, we kind of got this, and videos, we had this memoriam of what it used to be, you know. And I think it's super important. And is it really something I need to do? No, but something I want to do, absolutely. And I think there's again this battle between need and want that is super important because what do I want? Is it what I need to do or what I don't need to do? And again, making videos is I want versus what I need, which I don't know what I need, right? Coming back to the subject, those social interaction were something to me that were super nice. Yesterday we went out middle of the day. There's a lot of people, which was weird because I'm not used to that. We went out to get an ice cream. We went out to make some videos in public, which was really cool. And I remember going to a store, right, a store, and doing a mukbang. And it was weird because we chose a place that we knew, that we really knew. So it wasn't something that was completely out of the realm of things I'm not comfortable with because this place is like a second home. Um, and all of that being said, uh, it's kind of confusing videos to make because again, it's on the fly. It's not planned, right? But Then my father yesterday was like, "Oh, you don't socialize enough," and then it made me realize: did I do those things because I felt the need to socialize? The need again is subconscious. That lack of socialization, did it push us to do things or not, right? And I was like, holy shit, maybe that's the case. But then again, the result is positive. So who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about motivation when the results are positive? The answer is no one, because we're always gonna look at something in the way of I wanted to have a positive results. See, there's things that will never have a positive results, but we still want to see them. So, even if it was a need to socialize, maybe that's the thing. But if it is, what do I do now? And actually, that's the main subject of the video. Do I force myself to lack socialization? So when I feel the need to, I'm happy to do so. I remember isolating myself when I was really younger, and when I would do a party or something like that, I was really excited because it's like, holy shit, this is out of the realm of thing I'm used to, and I kind of want to reproduce that, right? I kind of want to reproduce that even for work. Right now, I'm in a good position. We started a video where I was like, oh, I sometimes crave working, you know. This is work to me, but you know what I mean. It's not a. We spend our entire life being told you need a trad job, right? A traditional job, and now we're doing this, which is artistic, which is something I want to do, but I'm not used to doing. And there's still there's days where I want to do like something that is a work thing, and I do believe that that is something that is either positive or negative. I don't know. It's complicated, you know. But what I do know is a lot of the thing that we're doing right now is out of need, out of want. I like it. Something that I like about myself is very instinct. I focus a lot on my instinct, not necessarily what I think is logical. When I want to do something, I'm going to do it. Impulsiveness is something akin to bravado, gustas. There was this saying in soprano. I got it yesterday. It's a buzz. I don't remember it. It doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, so we're doing things differently, and I guess that's positive, you know. Is it something we can bank on? This video was about, oh, we're banking on the fact that we're missing socialization. That's why we're being more social, because they're coming from a lack, and your body's trying to balance it out. So what do I do? I push myself to be in that situation. I don't push myself. It's kind of complicated, and I always talk about how everything is a balance. There's no evil, there's no good. It's a balance. When you need something, the universe will provide a balance. And there's a balance to have. This balance is made by you. And I don't think there's a possibility where balance exists. You know, there's a lot of things that balance don't exist. There's some poorer country than others, and if everybody was equally rich, it would be a perfect world. But would it work? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We're working with a system like in The Walking Dead, right? Where every community has a purpose. Like, oh, this community has a blacksmith, right? And they're creating weapon. Oh, this community is very good for fighting. This community is very good at producing food. And it's also the case that we're in this position. I'm saying this about country, but it goes to very small scale. I have this smart Genesis, and Genesis has been helping us so much lately. But Genesis is more so a planner than a doer, and I'm more so a planner than a doer. Genesis is more so a planner than a doer, and I'm more so a doer than a planner. So we do a good team, you know. But should I rely on somebody to be planning everything or not? I don't know. Because there's a need for balance. You need to push yourself to be more of a planner, even if it's not your core being. If it's not your core, it's not you. You know. You need to do something. I was talking about this yesterday in a video about almost the flight or flight, and intro versus extro, introverted versus extroverted, and there's a need for balance. There's a need to push yourself to get out of that comfort zone, and not put yourself in this mental prison, this social prison, that you say, oh well, I'm introverted, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I'm extroverted, I'm not gonna have to, and it's a beautiful thing. Again, in balance, a self-made, a human-made. More so self-made, because my balance for me is different than the balance for you. But it's still a balance nonetheless. It's amazing when you understand the concept of give and take. Give and take. Law of equal exchange. Those are all financial terms, right? But they apply to personal life. Equal exchange. If I'm in a relationship, right? Am I bringing am I bringing to my partner as much as I'm bringing to me? And I'm in a friendship. Am I being as good of a friend as am I being as good of a friend to this friend that he's being to me? And then it almost seemed disingenuous in the fact that, well, I'm forcing myself to be a good boyfriend. I'm forcing myself to be a good friend because they're a good friend, and you're not being yourself. It's a complicated subject. There's no clear answer. There's no answer. It's just a question of, again, gustas is instinct. Understanding that something is right. There's a lot of time that you're gonna do something in life and it doesn't. It's gonna feel right, and because it feels right, you say, okay, well, that's a good thing. Well, it's not necessarily a good thing, but if it feels right, if you're comfortable in doing that, they always say about Christmas, always about giving, not receiving, and you feel good when you're giving. They always say like, oh, it's better to help people than being helped, and that's true. But it's then it's true. But then are you gonna be forcing yourself? If you're forcing yourself to help people because they feel good, then it's not because you want to help people. You just want to feel good, and that's disingenuous. That's dishonest. So what do you do here? You just help enough. You just help when you need to. It's a it's a concept of human. But it's also a concept. It's a concept of human. But it's also a concept of person by person. There's people with natural leadership skills. There's people that are born followers. If everybody was a leader, then nothing would get done. And if everybody was being a follower, nothing would get done. It's again this weird balance where some people need to be that way. And I mentioned Janice, which was more of a planner, me and more of a doer. And together we do a lot, right? And it's more efficient. But there's cases where you're not gonna be able to find that partner. You're not gonna be able to find this teamwork, right? You have to rely on your own skills. And if your entire life you rely on skills of others, you're in this position. In this position of, well, some other people are gonna do it for me. I did a video like 2 days ago, right? Talking about how my mom raised me, my father raised me. My father was more like, you're gonna need to learn it yourself. My mom, she was like, I'm gonna help you, right? And there's a lot of things that I learned to myself because I was forced to do myself. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, but at the same time, if it wasn't imposed on me, I would have not learned it. And if I didn't learn it, then maybe I didn't need it. I keep on mentioning this. I mention this almost every video now. But the universe will provide. The universe is gonna see you for what you are. It's gonna see you as for your weakness and your strength. And the weakness is gonna provide things to fix it. I'm gonna give you guys another example. I'm too smooth. My personal example, I was too kind. I let people walk over me. So the universe put somebody in my path. I was a fucking bully, and that bullied me for years and years and years and years and years, which caused depression, right? And when I see that now it's done, right? It's over. This work, I'm not working there anymore. But when I see that, I'm like, it was a good thing. It was a good thing that this guy was a bully. It made me a better person. I was in my life. I had a lot of yes men, and although yes men feels good, long term they're not gonna help you. Short term they're gonna fucking save your life, but long term, it's kind of like a mess. And it's about being grateful to have adversity. Imagine that, being grateful for having adversity in your life. And it's such a foreign concept. But you realize that adversity helps you more than complacence. Complacence. I don't know how you say it in English. Adversity helps you more than being complacent. I think that's the word, right? We're basically that you're doing what you feel like doing, but adversity is like, no, you're gonna do this because you have to. And in life, the best thing about life is not fair. It's unjust. But at the same time, if it was for some people, it's fair. Some people, they're born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and everything they're doing is, it doesn't matter because you're gonna be successful because of who you are, because of your name, because of your legacy, because of the precondition of your life. British precondition of your life is very, very simple, right? Condition of your life is, for example, you were born from a rich family, and you decide to take a risk in business, right? And sadly, that business doesn't work. So you're like, okay, well, I took a risk. For a lot of people, they would cash in their 401k, they would take a lot of risk, and they would lose it all. But for you, because you have this increment of cash, right? You're like, you you're like, well, if I take a risk, it's okay. I'll bounce back. I had this friend, right? Emma Mick on Instagram. Shout out to her. She's really, really chill. She helped me so much. She comes from a poorer part of Ottawa. I don't remember if it's Ottawa or Ontario. I always mix them two. Sorry, I'm playing the tower. And with Emma, she's very successful, and it's weird. It's very weird. But with Emma, she is this person that was successful because she came from nothing, and because she came from nothing, she was motivated to become something. And now she pays like the community by organizing fireworks, which is a small thing, but it's still a big thing for a lot of people. And you're asking yourself, what have I done for my community lately? And you realize that it's such a selfish thing. You're seeing somebody do a kind act. You're not even able to applaud it. You're not even able to appreciate it. Your direct answer is, what have I done for my community? And I think that's wild. But anywho, long enough video. Not that I love you. I know it's a weird ending, but those videos aren't planned. So they're constant thought, and I'm afraid I'm repeating myself. And that's why we reach a certain point. The good thing about making videos like that is you constantly have a flow of thought. You're constantly thinking and thinking and thinking and making those videos, and then you end up being in a space where you're like, okay, well, I think I said that already, and then your brain, and it's not because your brain is part of the universe, and the universe provide, right? It looks crazy, but makes sense. I'm gonna be able to go forward and go farther and farther in the subject. Because I was able to go farther and farther in the subject, I'm going to be reaching a point where there's nothing that else. The trail and the train of thought, when it comes to thoughts, the train of thought is actually pretty good. Actually, comes to a terminus, and that's it. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.